Yo, it's Guido coming at you with Tactics Talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a nice day. Got my cup of coffee as always. And we are here on Prok Havkadorf. Himmelsavka. IS-3A. This is the second video in adjustments. Second video in adjustments and reading the battle. Bottom tier in my IS-3A. Look at this. 3 artillery. Although I'm only 1 tier down this time. Last time we were 2 tiers down. This is not the most fantastic Prok tank of all time, especially with 3 artillery. Normally I would go to the 5-6 line and see what I can do. But with the 3 artillery and the fact that we had a couple of our other bigger kind of guys, the Emil 2, tier 9, yada, the Lorraine going over there, keeping them honest, all that good stuff. No scouts in the game. I felt like I'd go over here to the 1-2 line and see how things shake out. Not my usual move, but based on this situation, bottom tier, IS-3A, not a lot of depression, 3 artillery. I will reserve the right to go back to the 5-6 line if nobody went there or they start to have trouble. But for the moment, I'm going to sit here over in the 1-2 line and assess and see if we can't catch some guys out. Now what happens here is something I didn't really count on. We'll let you in on that in just a moment. I thought more than likely I could get fairly far forward and it wouldn't be an issue. But what we're going to run into is a misassessment on my part about the tanks and a tank that I missed on the list. So he's probably lit. He's trying to get away. And I come forward in here and I'm going to get lit. I'm probably have slightly better camo, so I got a little bit closer. And pretty soon here, boom. All right, that's trouble. So if you look at the circles, they're well past that line of rows or that line of bushes right there. And if you check it out, they have a char feature, which I missed in the initial analysis. Because I was saying, well, there's no scouts. I should be able to get this far forward. I also get a bit lucky in the bounces. I bounced 600. That's very nice. 900. So the 5100 hasn't hurt me. But I do take some artillery hits, a couple of those. But I get out of this with a lot less damage than I thought I would. I'm still trying to get away. I think there's another shot. There you go. Now the char shoots. So he's watched us back up enough that he's pretty sure he can get the shot. And that's how I figured out it was the char right about there. All right. So the char is taking that bush. Nice and fast. Good spotting. Good camo relatively for a tier 9 medium. Now he's got this whole 1-2 line locked down. There's nothing we can do on the left side of the road. We don't have any tanks to break that. There's no way we get forward without getting spotted. So I'm just going to back out of this thing and start thinking to myself, what do we got going on? Well, the hill's not doing particularly great. They're on the back side of it. The 5-6 line is doing okay. They've got an IS-6 in front of them, and there's 3 of them there. And it looks like the fight for the hill with the shots coming from the 5-6 and the guys spotting them is moving along. So I actually come back here and I think this may not be the best place because if someone counters this 53-55, I'm going to be in the frag pattern. Here's something I didn't notice until a little while later. Take a look at what just died. So we kill an SCA-2 up on the hill. That's good. And then about here, I noticed that one of their artilleries died. Because initially I was thinking I was going to go over to the hill. Matter of fact, I actually got pinned by that HE shot. That did 300 to me. That must be the 53. Oh my God, yeah, look at the marks around it. That was an HE shot. So when I notice that one of their already is dead and that the fight on the hill is going okay and there's no real grouping that I can tell from the purples and the 5-6, I'm going to go ahead and move up into the middle. There's less arty. So let's put a little pressure and look at the corner of the 1-2 line, right? Now that's the other thing. This is untenable. We can't have this. These guys need some work. And if we don't have a medium over to do it, someone's got to do it. So that part of my thought process in these games is still there. I'm trying to be more careful. I am more careful the majority of the time. But I'm also cognizant of where the problem areas are. And good players will fill those problem areas in as best they can without getting killed. So now what I want to know is that guy still in the bush? So let's go find out. Because I know from this position here, I can see this position from the bush. This will light me up. I'm going to come up here and go, all right, where is this guy? Let's see, did he see me? Sure as shit. You know he's in there. All right, so that's fine. So we'll come in here and we'll take a shot. Don't know. I didn't really see if it hit the ground or not. That one did. We'll move down lower in the bush. All right, that's made me think. And while I didn't stay there and watch it, I think I hit the guy on the higher shot. Typically, people will be as high up in those bushes as they can. Now, if he's smart, he's going to move around a little bit. I don't have a lot of ammo to do that in an IS-3A, so I think I'm going to take another 3 shots into this here, just to see if I can maybe find this guy. And I want to pay attention to this shot, so we're going to come up. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up just barely to where if he's in the top part of the bush, he'll see me. So I just want my spotting point, just whoop. Yep, all right, so he's pretty high in that bush. That's what that's telling me. He's pretty high in that bush. So we're keeping him busy, and I can tell also that we're starting to build a nice advantage. We've got 900 hit point advantage, and we've got 3 more of their tanks dead. So I'm just going to come up to this top part. Ooh, that did not seem to hit the ground. Neither did that. That one did. He moved. Now, I will tell you, I got one of those line shots in. I don't know how many of them hit, but one did damage, so I will have a little more damage at the end based on that. Now I'm looking at my shell count going, all right, I don't really have time for any more of that. I've punished him a little bit. I think at least I've hit him in there. I'm thinking I've hit him. And I don't really want to poke up there too many more times because the M53-55 might get a little jiggy. Oh, by the way, there's another kill. The GW Tiger is doing some serious counter work. He's taken out 2 artillery, which is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. So he's countered 2 of them. This has now further freed me up to do a little bit more of moving around in the middle. So we'll come up here. Also, with the artillery changes, it's not as painful. So I'm going to use this bush to come around here, make sure I'm not spotted by the char, and see if I can't approach up to this bush and not get spotted by him and not get spotted potentially by any guys who might be for some reason able to get up into these bushes and be looking along the edge here. So I just want to see if I can come up here and is that working? Oh, fantastic. So I'm not lit, right? I'm not lit. So I went to the 1-2 line. 5-6 is fine. Hill seems to be starting to win. Let's start working on maybe putting some pressure over here. There goes the 122 TM. I'll just keep testing the waters. Am I going to get spotted moving up here? And now my brain is thinking, all right, the next thing I really want to do is get into that little dip right there. I want to get into that dip up in front of me. Now, I know I'm going to get spotted by the char when I cross. The question is, will they be busy enough looking at other things potentially to not shred me? Right now, I think they're all looking at me, more than likely. I mean, we could have a Su-130, a T-95, a Tortoise. Their Progetto is certainly over there. We do know that. So I really don't want to just go walking down this road or traipsing over into that ditch just yet. But I see another thing going on that's very important. We're starting to win the east side of the map. All right, so I'm waiting. I want to say, all right, let's get rid of this Progetto. I think somebody dies to one of their tanks right here. Was it the Progetto that gets him? I don't remember. Let's find out. There'll be a kill shot here on the UDES 14-5, I believe, and it's probably the UDES, or sorry, the Progetto that gets him. Nope, the Su-130 got him, so that makes me think, there's a Su-130 nearby, over on the other side. Here comes the 40T. He's moved over here. Our TDs are moving up. You'll notice the IS-6 has moved up without being seen, so he's able to get up to that spot right there. All right, the Progetto's dead. I go. They know the Progetto's dead. We know the Progetto's dead. More than likely, all of them are in this corner up here. And let's go ahead and start putting some pressure on them. And I am pretty sure I'm going to get lit, and I do. And that was earlier than I had liked. And I'm thinking, all right, am I going to get down here? The 100-01 takes a shot at me because he's camoed up. Damages the engine. I fix it. Off we go. And now I'm looking for this Progetto. There goes the 5100. Not Progetto, but Char. So we come up here just enough to get some shots. T95 is lit. I should have knocked the building down first. So I knocked the building down. I just wait for the reload. He got hit by that already, and we'll just finish him off with the second shot. Char has been forced out. Here he goes. And it looks like he's going to run up and over right at the 263, so I'm going to take that opportunity to get that shot. We thump him there, and I start backing this way because I really don't want him back behind us to get away. I don't think he's going to win the game, but that's definitely trouble. It doesn't matter, though, because the T-30 comes up and over, and that's USSR forever, actually. Pretty good player. He just did not have a team. Got in a good spot, did not really have a team. And now we're going to push up and over, and I'm going to use this approach because what I want to do is go up and over and dive down into this low spot, move along the edge here, and start lighting these guys up. See if I can't get some more assist out of this, even though I'm only sitting at 300 damage. and we'll push on in here. Looks like the 263's got the same idea. He's just going straight up the road. He's going to be relying on his armor, although he doesn't have a lot of hit points left. I get lit in here, which surprised me a little bit. And there we go. There's a tortoise. No sense shooting at him. There's a bounce. Try to shoot this dude in the side, but it's a crit. And I don't know if I tracked him or what. Another shot in the side. He's decently angled, so those are both terrible. And then I just go ahead and track him, whatever. Let's get him tracked, see if we can't get some assist out of that. We end up getting, what, 1,500 assist. He's not quite dead. Everyone's on a reload. We'll come around this way. Beauty of an auto reloader. You're always in the fight, even if it is taking a long time to reload. I'll ignore the tortoise because I know he's getting thumped. There's more hit points over here anyway on the T95. We'll just keep pushing in here and see if we can't get one shot into his back. There we go, 363 low roll. And that's it. Only 700 damage. I think it ends up being maybe 1,200. Maybe, yeah, so there were 2 hits in there that weren't listed. Maybe 2 of my blind shots then, now that I look at that. Potentially. 765 damage, 1,815 assists with 2 kills. Was this like the greatest game of all time? No. No. Did the whole team do pretty good? Yeah, they sure did. But the point of it was the assessment and the reaction part of it and what I did with a tank that really wasn't in a good situation for the map. And as far as the flank goes, it was locked down, so I do something different that's in support of that flank. Try to move around, try to move from point to point, use the terrain, use your knowledge of where people are. I knew the Char was up there after he took a shot and bounced. And then my little probing actions and do I get spotted, all that kind of stuff. And then watching the rest of the map flow and knowing when you can move forward. You know, not perfectly safely, but with a reasonable expectation of not getting shredded in there. And turning what could have been a pretty terrible game into a decent game. With about 1,100 damage, I believe, and 1,800 assists in there, a bunch of blocked. Now, granted, a lot of times on things like this, that early mistake that early mistake of driving forward and getting spotted like that could have cost me a lot of hit points. I bounced 1,290, but it was 900 before I got out of there with that 5,100. So thank goodness he didn't pin a bunch of shots right there. But if you get lucky, it's not if you get lucky, it's what you do with it. Like, what's the next move? All right, hope that helped, guys. That's something I've been working on a lot, and it's been something I've been working on with you guys as well in the coaching. It's starting to pay dividends, to just pay a little bit closer attention to what's going on. It's been a long time since this is true, but I think I went further with it in the way I played the metas. It has never been a great idea just to go to your flank and only worry about that, but it is more so now. It is more so now. The reaction to the game you have, not the game you want. You know, in the past, and it's been a long time really, but 5 years ago, you could really play the meta the way you wanted and do pretty well. The really great players did this all the time anyway, but now it's starting to become critical that you're able to sort of read some of this stuff and react to it. All right, that's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you.